Alright, better late than even later, I would say. Thanks Chief Justice for the 6th month subscription. Yeah, kind of a late start today. It's gonna be a shorter stream than usual due to the late start. And what we are gonna do today, I'm not gonna have a big intro this time because that usually takes up like 20 minutes and we don't have that much time today. Basically gonna work on expanding the solar field. Over here, gonna give these 24,000 bots something to do. Just keep expanding, probably trying to landfill in most of this lake and see how that works out with the landfill we brought over. With the landfill spiders over here, which now have a ton of wood inside, so yeah, we're just gonna keep working on that. And we're also gonna start preparing this land over here, which we are planning to use for the 10,000 signs per minute base. Unlike the 1,000 signs per minute base, which is kinda small in comparison, we're gonna have to like plop down at least like 10 times the size of this thing over here, so we're gonna be using probably most of this land actually, but this is gonna be way too large of a build to build for my personal armor, even with like all the roboports and 300 to 400 bots inside. It just takes too long to charge up everything. So we're gonna finally expand the bot network out to cover some of this ground, so we can prepare to let the bots build stuff. And that's basically gonna go like this. We just build a mine over here, for which we built the blueprint the last stream. So here we got like this is our mining blueprint with furnaces. Let's go somewhere where we can see it. So there's supposed to be miners here, but there's no resource patch. And this is 16 furnace stacks connected to it. Which basically means we can take this blueprint, put it down on a suitable patch over here, and then let the base bots build it over the course of however long it takes them to fly all the way out there and pick up stuff back here again. But we're gonna have the time, so that's alright. Yeah, so I guess let's get started. That's the plan for today, a couple hours. And perhaps in the when we don't have any bot commands to give out, we can use these spiders who have been standing here for hours at this point. We can use these guys to at least fill in this part of the hidden area. We're gonna need to explore a little bit out, because my solar blueprint out here contains raiders here and there, if I can spot one. So that means we're gonna be scanning from the edge of the edge of the solar field out into possibly the void over here. So we do need to uncover this land over here. It also will look nicer on the map if this is fully filled in. Also pollution. Pollution is a thing again. We are about to spread pollution off the map, which means we can generate new biters down here. So if this creeps up even closer, we'll have to do something about that. But that's about it. That's the plan for today. So let's loot and get started. I'm streaming again from the van, so again I don't have a good view on whatever is happening in chat. So if I miss your chat, sorry for that, but the phone has to stay in the window, because if it stays in my field of view in front of me, my upload speed is not good enough. Right, we're at 96 rocket bars, so let's enjoy the epic 10 rocket launch one more time, and then we'll start giving some commands. Nice. Alright. Let's start with a check of how the 1000 signs per minute base has been doing. Perfect, looks like. For the 20-ish hours it has been on. Complete flat line, so far looks like the 1k signs per minute base is going strong. Alright, let's switch off the pollution again, because that's a giant blob of unnecessary detail. Alright, so what are our options? We've got 8,000 substations here. If I remember correct, for the next circle we're gonna need 9,000. There is 256 in a blueprint, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 36 to go around. So yeah, that's 9,000. The other thing we could do is maybe just going out here, just with only the power network. Just ignore the solar panels for now. Just try to cover this area in roboports. Just try to cover this area in roboports and raiders, and then we can just place the landfill down on all of these chunks for later. 3, 4, 5. I'm not sure we should try to cover everything, but we probably should try to cover some part. 1, 2, 3, 4. We could go like 4 chunks out. That will give us a good margin. We only have to fill in this area of the lake. This is not yet a part of the blueprint. And anyway, we don't have enough solar panels to fill in another circle, so I may just do that. So I guess that means we'll stamp maybe 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Something like that. That should get the bots flowing out. And we'll just see how much they can get done. Of course, they cannot print the entire blueprint just yet, because they need to do it roboport by roboport. So that's slightly annoying, but I think it will work out. Let's watch them build the first part, as they are coming in right now. I can try speeding up some of this footage over here. Alright, so now the next line of roboports get built, which means the next bots are called upon to build the next line, including roboports. So that's the first line done. Here comes the next batch. So it's built like 1 roboport distance at a time. I recommend buffer chests with roboports and other basics. Yeah, we already took care of that. We've got a train delivering the stuff in the exact ratio as we need them. So I think our train contains 3000 solar panels and 2400 accumulators, plus the accompanying roboports, substations and raiders. And we also automatically bring back stone and trees to the base. Alright, the first one is completely built, so there's nothing. No water in the way. Oh no, actually no, we still need to build 1 more roboport out before that's the case. So yeah, these bots will slowly chip away at that, and after just a minute or 10-15 we'll check back on how far they've gotten. If any roboports disconnected or if we need to do something else, but hopefully most of this lake will be landfillable at that point in time. always a little bit like ASMR to see the bots build all this stuff. Watch all the lines pop into existence. Can watch this for hours. I don't think there's a reason to make the system more complicated than it is now. Of course I could integrate buffer chests in the design, but then I also would have to get rid of those buffer chests again. So the bots are plenty fast enough to build, like, I think I can build 10 times faster than I can produce and bring over the stuff anyway, so it's good enough for what it needs to do. And I don't think I'll be changing this much. If I could resist watching this all the time, I could actually do some other things while the bots were doing this. I don't need to babysit this, but it's just so nice to see all this grid lines pop into existence. Right, we're getting around the water. One of the substations already is unplaceable here, as there is water in the way. But yeah, as the bots complete this part, we can very importantly deconstruct all the fish before putting in landfill, because we want as many fish as possible for our home pond. It's getting a little bit out of hand. Alright. I guess we'll just watch a little bit more, since now we are gonna cover the water. Sausage said, "Hello, I caught you live." Nice. Yeah, kind of an unorthodox moment to start the stream for me, but turns out well. Love your YouTube videos, thanks. Good evening and good luck, thanks. Yeah, my blueprint is completely filled in with stuff. The ratio is exactly not exactly right. The correct ratio is 0.84. My ratio is 0.83333 or 5 to 6, as that is the ratio in which I am producing my solar panels and accumulators. Should be watching this a bit around the lake, I said. My plan is to build one base with 10,000 signs per minute. I did build a base already with 1,000 signs per minute, which is working perfectly. So now we're going to use that knowledge to build a 10,000 signs per minute base. Also with just giant, dedicated and belt-based builds. Because everybody does train and bot setups, I'm going to do a big dedicated belting, similar to the 1,000 signs per minute. Except for the 1,000 signs per minute, I grouped some things together, like I produce all green, red and blue chips in a massive area. Whereas for the 10,000 signs per minute, we're just gonna take it per science pack, or perhaps even per science pack ingredient. So just red chips for furnaces for purple science will have its own area, just because it will get way too massive otherwise. I don't want to make 150 belt wide turns. That kinda becomes too clunky. So yeah, we're gonna do something similar. Also for this, we're gonna build a similar area to this for the 10,000 signs per minute base, which will have approximately 100 rocket silos, which are already neatly prepared in these chests over here. 48, 96, 97. Technically we need 97, so that's all. But yeah, we'll see. Maybe we'll just do 100. Depends on how the design turns out. but something similar. Unsped up rocket silos surrounded by labs. Perhaps science is going to be brought in by trains, as belts is not going to be that viable. 10,000 science per minute will need like 4 belts for every science packs, so that is quite a lot. Alright, this is the fourth and final blueprint stamp. Now you can see why I want to avoid water as much as possible, because now we are going to get, not only do we need to fill in with landfill, then wait for the landfill to be placed, then place the blueprint on top again, and roboports get on top, etc, etc. But also we get these like diagonal lines of the power grid, which is not the way we want to have it. So yeah, we're gonna have to fix that. Probably I'm just gonna landfill it in, and then I'm just gonna delete the roboports again, delete the power network again. This rocket launches at 2 times speed. Yeah, the sound is kinda out of sync when you run the game at 2 times speed. Approximately 2 times speed. If I'm watching this, it's probably less than 2 times speed. Right, the robots are out on their final journey. I'm wondering if I should just try to cover the entire lake in one time. No, how much do I still have over here? 6,000 substations, so we could possibly blueprint a lot more. How far are we gonna go out anyway? This is the center. We need like a 28 by 22 grid at minimum, so that is 14 stems out. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. We're gonna have to go this far out. I guess if I just could cover these lakes in one time, that would be pretty neat. I think I want to do that. Alright, I placed a lot of stuff now in the fog of war, which is not super optimal. Eventually it will get done, but the bots may be a little bit slower to react from this moment going on forward. So yeah, it looks like the roboport grid is mostly connected. Power is connected somehow. To most of these at least. Looks like here this is disconnected for now. I think I'll just connect it with a temporary substation over here. Then we can continue on this flat over here. And hopefully get as much covered in roboport network as we possibly can. Alright, so we'll let the bots do their thing and we'll check back in a little bit. Another thing I want to do, let's switch back to 1 times speed. Another thing I want to do is I want to start building a roboport highway, a bot highway for our base over here, from which we can start constructing the 10,000 signs per minute base. I'm kinda hoping we don't need a south, but I'm not sure yet. I'm kinda hoping it will fit in this like giant sort of peninsula type of land. That will probably mean we'll have to explore much more land around here, as the pollution will grow very fast. This is just the pollution from 1000 signs per minute, so it's probably gonna be like not quite 10 times as big, but definitely pretty hard. So yeah, I did make a blueprint in my 1000 signs per minute book. We have this thing and we have this thing, which is basically this thing twice with the proper grid alignment. We kind of have to take a look where I'm gonna go out. So ideally I would go out from the bottom of my bot network, which means my old nuclear plant is in the way. It would be kinda good to be able to do... Let's put this on the bar somewhere. To do this and just go out to the left. This is my hub, all of my stuff is here, so from this point out the bots are gonna fly out all over the map. So we need to be able to charge them. Another option we have is to go a bit higher, perhaps up here, north of the lake, and go out from there. Let's see how let's just scout out to the left. See if we bump anything important. We've got like a large patch of iron over here. Not sure we're gonna use any of this though. We might though. There's a good path, just goes over a uranium patch. If we go north like so, we're gonna go straight through our oil field. That is less ideal. But after that we don't cross any resource at all, and we go out on this small outcrop over here, which is good, I guess. I kinda want to go out from here though. I do not want to deconstruct I'm kinda attached to my old nuclear plant over here. I only will deconstruct it once UPS is starting to be a thing. But looks like so far we can still get like 120 UPS. So we don't quite need to deconstruct it just yet, but it is in the way for a potential hoverboard highway. That means we're just gonna go north of the lake and we're gonna be done with that. So this is actually a nice alignment to start out. Even connected to the power network. Alright, so then the plan is just to do this. And see what happens. So now these bots are just gonna extend this roboport thing like 3 roboport distances at a time. And will slowly gain access to the entire left side of the map. Thanks Pink Panther for the 3rd-month subscription. Sorry I missed it. Alright, so now we're gonna go through the roboport network over here. Looks like we no longer need this or this. I probably should like... Probably should integrate like a radar into the design. Because this is just gonna go out. It is gonna be built, but it's not gonna be visible. So let's switch on the chunk grid. This is 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's do like every 4th chunk or so. Where did I place it here? Right at the bottom. 1, 2, 3, 4. I guess then I'll just make a blueprint of these raiders. $126, and that should then snap on top of the next one. Let's just make it a bit higher. So it's a little bit easier to place. Relative. So now I can just align this on here. And I should be able to just drag this out there as well. And then those raiders will get placed as well. So now there's a raider in this line. Alright, so that's the line to the left. The line out to the north is going to be a bit more difficult. Oh really? There's just one tile in the way. I guess we're gonna go up then. No one will know it's not exactly as it should be. Okay, so now we have plenty of roboports between here. If we now place something over here, like these miners, the bots will just fly out this way. And because there's so many roboports, the throughput of bots is going to be quite high. Except here at the oil field, we probably should just like manually paste in a couple roboports, which can make up for the deficit. That is pretty unsightly, but I guess it works. Alright, thanks Max Black, or Max Black, for the Prime subscription as well. Valuable banana says you can do 8 large lab areas for each half belt of science pack. I do not want a modular base. I want a giant dedicated base, which is not going to be expandable because it doesn't need to be. It's just going to be 10,080 science per minute, and that's all we're going to do with it. Actually, it looks like I forgot to deconstruct one of these temporary raider outposts. Can't believe I missed that all this time. Let's take a look here. How is it going? It's like we are kinda covering most of the lakes in the power grid. Do we still have substations? We still have 3000 substations, so pretty decent. Alright, everything does stay connected around these smaller lakes here, so that's quite nice. We are exactly gonna be not in range to get all of the water here, so we're going to have to probably manually put some extra roboports down. Okay, that guy is powered. We're gonna deconstruct everything here again, so I think I'll just manually try to put down a couple extra roboports to cover as much land as possible. Just trying to get all this land covered so we can put as much landfill out there at a time as possible. Alright, we'll have to see how that will complete. Okay, missing one substation. It's probably some weird Roboport quirk where it's now suddenly a separate network or something. I see, this is not connected by one tile. It looks like we can do a pretty good job of covering all the water. Approximately all. Means we don't have to do too many landfill cycles. It is going to be completely covered. This already is completely covered. Alright, I think if I plop down this guy, and then just deconstruct all of these. No, that's a bad idea. Copy this, Control Z, and then only put back this line. And all of this should not be put in place. We should be able to cover all of this water here. Thanks C-Rex as well for the subscription. Could really use Super Force build right now, yes. Also the thing where landfill is automatically put under the that you can already put entities on top of planned landfill. That would also be great. That's the whole reason we need to do this weird setup right now. The good news is though, we are covering all of the water, I think. This should be brought over as well right now. I think here these 3 bots are coming. to bring this into existence. 1, 2, and 3. Alright, that is covered as well. So we are doing a decent enough job. Trying to get roboports out in all of the places. Okay, we have to be a little bit more patient because of course this is close to the maximum fly distance the bots will need to go. But yeah, we are doing it. We're doing it. How is it going here? This is also approaching the maximum distance. Every set of roboports will take a little bit longer, but here we see the bot highway working. So there's always a roboport nearby, and if we are careful with how we make the turns, we should never make a big concave shape. That is bad. Bots could get stuck just going back and front to the same roboport for all of eternity, but if we keep the shape convex, we should be fine. Alright, so let's watch this a little bit later again. We still need to find out how we are gonna build this bot highway out to the north. That is a great question. Alright, so we do have this obsolete green chip setup over here, which we could get rid of. We could get rid of this and start the bot highway just straight in the middle of my base, my former base. That is close enough to the production facility that the bots don't need to. The bots won't get bottlenecked. If I start out only here, then here are just not enough roboports for the bots to charge. Maybe I do not need to deconstruct. Maybe I can just build a vertical, like 2 vertical lines of roboports. Yeah, that might do as well. I guess I want to find like a line where we are not passing over too many resources, since this is gonna be probably permanent. That is gonna stay in place until the end of the game. So let's see if there even exists such a line. For instance, if we go out from green chips, we immediately cross this copper over here, this copper over here, this copper, this iron. That is not great. More copper. Okay, this is in the line of a lot of resources. What other options do we have? We could like move to the labs. It's not really helping. A little bit to the right looks okay though. Maybe like this line goes left of the copper, right of the iron. That would be pretty ideal. Yeah, we're missing everything. Right, here we're hitting stuff. Okay, that's the last bit though. It's just on the edge as well, so probably good enough. There is nothing of interest. This is like a big resource void, so we don't even need to be here. Where was it now? I think on the lap line. On the lap line, a little bit to the left perhaps. Something like this. Okay, let's just go down from here. Left of the copper, right of the iron, left of the iron. We scrape a stone patch, which is alright. We don't really care about that. This copper patch is bad. This copper patch is usable. Okay, we're kinda shearing right next to the green chip build over here. What if we go like... Okay, what if we go like, if we move this roboport over one tile, we could potentially go like this. We cross the bad copper patch, cross the stone, still miss the iron, miss the copper, miss the iron. Scrape by the copper, but our mining blueprint is gonna be in the center anyway. I don't think that will matter. Here we still miss everything else except this iron patch and this copper patch, but we'll see. Once we are this far out, the highway has finished its functionality. We don't need a highway in this rural area down here. The highway is basically the, well, where all the patches are in the middle here. This is just the end of it. So we're gonna be good, I think. So I think I like that idea. So it also integrates pretty well here. Alright. Perhaps I even just want to delete these two, just for the consistency. This is kind of far away from this manufacturing hub, but I think I can just do this on the old green chip setup. All of that is powered by the green chip setup, by these old wooden power lines. Not all. I guess we kinda cheat and just put one extra here. Nobody will know it's there after a while. Okay, there goes another salvo. Hey, Zalabai, good evening. Oh yeah, so today we are basically trying to cover this area in landfill and then deconstructing it all again. That's the only major water source here, is all this area, which we are currently trying to cover. Still working on it, a little bit jinxy here and there. I guess we also should add some radars here. So let's put the Roboport and the radar on the bar here, because looks like for now we are using that. Because I cannot copy paste in here. I could make a blueprint of a Roboport. Should I just do that? Let's do it. And then I can place it in this fog of war over here. Yeah, that should cover everything. Maybe. Okay, that covers that entire thing. Yeah, we're gonna need a little bit of radar vision in here. So I'm kinda messing up my blueprint grid here, but it's for a good cause. All of these radars are exactly not in the chunk where they need to be. Well, I guess we need a little bit of time before the bots fill in all of this distant corner over here. It's a bit hard to get to. Really? Well, that's all that fits. This one, that robot is going to cover that, alright. And the robot here should cover everything. On this lake, and I think then we have done most of it. Now we just need to wait for this corner to get built a bit, and then we can take out all of the fish and then queue up all of the landfill. Meanwhile, I just want to measure out how this is gonna look if I just go up. Okay, we're gonna get in the way. How about, let's switch off the grid, that will mess with my OCD. How about if we do this? I guess we are free to go up in that case. Some extra robots never hurt. Alright, I think we're just gonna go all the way up. Okay, that is the one we scrape. I'm just gonna stop right in front of the first patch we don't want to cover. Should be somewhere around here. Alright, so that's the first iron patch we may actually use. It is the last iron patch in the northern line. We may be using this resource over here, but we can just branch out the highway. Maybe diagonally even. So now this is going to be built. We're also going to stay clear of the landfill thing, which is good. I can manually connect it by doing a robot like so, and I can disconnect it again when I don't want access to it. The problem is, if this is connected, the bots will start flying out this way to place something over here, and then they're just going to get stuck on this roboport trying to fly out, running out of juice and just returning over here. So we don't want those weird outcrops. We want a perfect straight line. Now, no matter how far the bot wants to fly out that way, the closest roboport is going to be here, fly out here, and it's just going to continue up in a zigzag pattern, and it may take a while, but eventually this mine is going to get built. As long as we keep the entire shape of the roboport network concave. So that reminds me, I probably should try to make sure alright, this one is here for the train. That is kinda important. So can I just go up a bit? Maybe I can just put one stamp of this down here. Looks like I can. That looks alright. Alright, and then we already like mostly solved that issue. Alright, so now there's, even if robots are starting from here, they're just gonna connect to the highways. That's gonna be good. We do have the issue on this side of the base. Perhaps we should integrate, like make some sort of diagonal roboport line to that edge over there. First of all, we don't need to be this far out. So maybe something like this would be okay. This is part of the main base, we cannot really get around that. So that means we basically just have to connect. Now we're just filling in this green spot with orange as well. Not good enough though. Alright, so that's a nice line already. Now we just need to go up a bit more. That's gonna power it all. Alright, so now it's likely that even bots which depart from this side of the base to some area, so to some destination on the slight right, they're just gonna go like this and they won't get stuck on this corner roboport here, because now we made kind of a straight line. So ideally this roboport highway would be on the far edge of the base, but the self-balancing starter base is was intended to build to get to the rocket mostly. Of course it can be preparation for a larger base, but 10,000 signs per minute is a little bit out of the scope of the self-balancing starter base book, which we utilize to get started in this playthrough. Oh, hello obsolete alien. Yeah, stream today. I had given up on it too, but in the end it happened anyway, so that's good. We are getting up here. That's gonna take a while though, but these bots are busy. I think these are all done as far as they can be done. Yeah, all the construction bots are resting. So we did a good job of covering all of these lakes with roboport coverage, which means we can landfill those in one go. We do have some areas over here which we probably cannot reach in a single go. This is not connected to anything apparently. So, well, that is the cause of that. And I'm just gonna stamp myself a little bit of landfill in here. Just so I can extend bot coverage. That's gonna be good enough for there. We do need a little bit more here, so let's go maybe down here a bit. Just grab those fish already. Hopefully we won't be deconstructing too many fish like that. I just want to do everything in one big swoop, if I can. It looks like we can cover most of the rest of these gaps just with some regular roboports. I'd love to see the bots landfill these lakes. I hope I can do that, but I think UPS is gonna drop to 60 or perhaps even below once all 24,000 bots spring into action. Now I just want to see the last little bits of roboport coverage being filled in. I think we still have a little bit of policeman stuff to do. Okay, that will cover that. Why is... okay, we need a roboport down here. That's gonna cover that, and we need a roboport down here. Yeah, it's barely connected. I guess we need a roboport on this island. Can we power that though? Oh wait, is this one gonna cover it? No. Alright, looks like I misjudged. Unfortunately, yeah, we cannot place it on top of the landfill just yet. I think that's the very last little bit of lake which is not covered. That's going to be quite an epic swoop to get all of the landfill out of there. Or get all of the fish out of there. We do have a special deconstruction planner for fish and items on ground. Probably a lot of stone on the ground here from combat, yeah. Over 1,000 stone, but more importantly we're gonna get 12,000 fish to add to our starter lake, which is a sizable upgrade. Our starter lake currently has got 41,000 fish, so roughly another 25% we can add to that. once we get all of the fish back to the base, that is. Alright, the landfill has been placed. Then we can, the final roboport, and then the whole ordeal can start. Quite a large area. Just to cover the everything with landfill. Look at we have got 110 UPS, but if I switch on the power network, we immediately drop to like 69 or so. That's an expensive overlay, apparently. Okay, here come the two heroes with the substation and the. I hope it's visible on Twitch with my crappy compression today. Okay, let's just watch a static shot. That was probably better. They're gonna fly in any moment now. Here they come. Power, roboport. Right, everything is covered. We are ready for the big operation deconstruct fish. Just trying to align it right. We're gonna make a save. I should first have made a save and then aligned it right. Operation deconstruct fish and landfill lakes. First save of the day, a little bit careless on my behalf. It looks like this is like the maximum size that kind of fits. Right, so let's grab it. Deconstruct fish and deconstruct items on ground. And here go the bots. I hope this works with the compression. I had to lower the compression a bit here because of my upload speed at this location. So doing 4 megabits a second instead of 6. I think it still will come across well if I just keep the shots a bit static. Alright, I kinda messed it up. This roboport is not connected, so hopefully I can just plop down a couple ones here and that will connect it eventually. Alright, we're gonna have a lot of fish in this logistic network soon. We have 170, that's gonna be like 12,000. That's gonna be like 3 chests full of fish in the end, I think. Yeah, there's gonna be 4,400 fish delivered to this storage chest over here. And here another 4,500. Alright. Looks like that's all the tasks completed. We are still waiting for those roboports. This roboport is not connected, so we have to wait for some of these to be built. Am I already scanning new land? Raiders are on this chunk. We are exactly not scanning new land. But I didn't really account for that. So kinda lucky. But we could have been generating biters already if I had placed one more blueprint out there. Look how close the raider is scanning. This is not generated. This land does not exist just yet. Alright, I guess then it's time for Operation Landfill. I think we have to make a new blueprint though. It's a little bit hard to do that in here. I think I'll just switch into editor mode for this, because it is going to be too big to see. Make landfill BP in editor mode. Alright, so I can load the save after we made the blueprint. Right, now we are in editor mode. Basically now I can just zoom in on one of these chunks over here. I do have a blueprint which covers one chunk exactly, like so. But since my grid has roboports on the chunk borders, I also have a blueprint which is a chunk plus two tiles on every side. So I think I'll have to do that, and for that this thing is like 6 by 6 chunks, so I have to make my landfill blueprint also 6 by 6 chunks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Alright. I'll just blueprint this. Snap it to the grid. It should be 192 because it sticks out 2. Now the tricky part. I think this offset is correct with the absolute grid size. This should now be the same as my solar panels, and it does look like that is the case. It aligns with the edge over here. Alright, so now we'll just add it to here. I guess let's give it 6 by 6 landfill. 6 by 6 chunk plus 2 tiles on outer edge. Always good to put a little description. Alright, so now we just load back our actual game. You should have a drink, Mike. Thanks, Odium. Hey, I didn't see you yet. Over 9,000 Spidertrons. Sorry, I have to keep my phone on the window, so your chat is really out of my sight. Hey, Bruce McNamara, thanks for the 6-month subscription as well. And Odium for the 8-month. What did I miss? Not much. I'll just go over it again. Thanks, Hamster of Pi, for the subscription as well. Sorry, I missed all of you. Do fish just despawn if landfilling? Yes. They just become part of the landfill. Is there a plan of what to do with fish? Yeah, putting them in a starter lake. We'll see if we get... We're not gonna make 9,000 Spidertrons. If you read the latest Friday facts, you would know Spidertrons can actually take quite a bit of UPS, and I've got like... I don't know, I think I've got like 30 spiders on the map already, so I kinda have to limit myself a little bit here. Right, if I remember correctly, this should be about 200,000 landfill or so. We currently have 300,000 landfill in here. Here comes the train. Right, so we are loading stone and potentially wood, if we would have more wood. We don't have that at the moment. We are loading that on this train to bring back, but fish we are not loading. So I guess we'll have to manually pick it up or task one of those landfill spiders to collect fish instead of wood. I guess at some point we'll bring new landfill there, so then we can pick up all that fish. But it is time for operation. It's going to be a big operation. Operation landfill. Here we go. I'm not placing down anything just yet. I'm just checking if all the water is covered. Okay, just making sure. If there's anything around the outside, it will be blueprinted as well. Is this in range? Yes. Alright, so is this in range? Exactly. Gotta get that fish though. And this one. Right, so there should be no more fish now. No more fish is present. Right then, here we go. I'm gonna make another save because I'm nervous about this. This may break the bot network. This may be too many tasks. I mean, bots bring 4 landfill pieces at a time. So that's an advantage, but every single chunk has 1024 tiles. So that's 256 bots tasks to a chunk. And we're gonna have a lot of chunks. Anyway, let's just do it and see what happens. Here we go. Oh, it is laggy. This is also going to draw all the bots out to the same location, which is not ideal. Whereas for the solar placement, I have the I'm gonna try to speed it up, but it's probably gonna break soon. For the solar placement, I'm doing it in windmill pattern, so the bots take maximum use out of all the roboports at the same time, instead of all flying through the same area over here. Alright, we're down to 75 UPS. Yeah, look at that. These bots are all just terribly slow. There's just too many bots here. Look at all these bots charging. All of these are taking out landfill. But yeah, they're all flying back. There is just no available roboports for these bots to charge at. So this is going to take a very long time. So I'm probably not going to watch it because that's just going to take too long. You may watch just a little bit over here. It's probably where the chunk border is. Are you still on the road, Mike? Yes. Good, you don't have the robot attrition mod. Robots are produced and replaced automatically. So even if they would just die constantly, they are cheap enough to just keep on replacing. You could load the save on the side and make a great time lapse. That's why I'm making all these saves in these strategic points. So I can later just refilm it and speed it up with video editing. Yo! I think I kinda caught up. Greetings from Hungary. Thanks. Yeah, thanks. Thanks for all the compliments. I think I got everything. Alright. So it is okay, finally all 24,000 bots are on the road, so now we're gonna get that cycling through the unplaced things yet. And if I now place some stuff over here at the base, it's probably not gonna get built very fast, right? Alright, maybe something changed after I last had problems with it. It's been a couple of years, so maybe robot behavior has been changed already. That separate roboport networks have separate cycles. That could be the case. Just look at that. So this is why I'm building a roboport highway in my main base, to avoid this overcrowding of these roboports over here. That's going to take a very long time. And with a roboport highway, if you got like a lot more roboports than in the solar network, the bots are gonna have plenty of roboports to charge at. I don't miss the snack bar at all. I like it when I'm in the Netherlands, but when I'm out of the Netherlands I don't have any problems. I don't even think about it really. I mean, you can get great local food everywhere. In most places. Let's call it in most places. Alright, that's yeah, it's gonna take a while. Alright, but it looks like, at least in the beginning, everything is getting land filled in. You can see all these spots are 4x4 because the bots are actually placing 4 landfill at a time. So this is one of the only times where construction bots take 4 entities at one time. Usually the carrying bonus only applies to logistics bots. Construction bots only do it when like emptying out an assembler or placing modules or placing landfill. Placing landfill is kinda unique. If you would place like 4 belts, this would be done by 4 individual bots. But for landfill can be placed by one single bot, and that single bot got stuck into one of those overcrowded roboports, which meant it took him a long time. This is probably gonna take the rest of the stream for all of this landfill to fill in. How is it going at the home base with the vertical part? I should have placed also the radars there. I made a blueprint for that. I guess I'm just gonna start here perhaps. Something like that. Now we should be radering all of that up. Right, so this also means we can build a temporary arm out towards the nuclear plant later on, and we can just extend, we can just landfill the nuclear plant and build the nuclear plant with bots. Nuclear plant production is still ongoing. Something went wrong here. Oh, this is what went wrong. Somehow that belt got rotated. Alright. For the rest, everything is still loaded. We are running the furnace area on wood still. The wood we are deconstructing from the solar panel area. It's all going to be smelted up in the furnaces. Alright, how many substations do we have? 40,000 at this point. Okay, that is plenty. I think we can maybe try to speed up nuclear power plant production a bit. Looks like these chests are all full. The pipes have been supplied. We are still doing the turbines as well as the heat pipes and the heat exchangers. If I just deconstruct half of this, 40 chests, let's do 20. That's gonna be redistributed to all of those other ones. And again, once the bots start bringing stuff away somewhere else, like over here, then we know we have enough stuff. So we have 480 turbines in all of these chests now, so we are over halfway done. These though are not halfway done. Alright, so we've got about a fifth of the... We got a fifth of the heat pipes. We do have extra of these heat exchangers. Heat pipes is the limiting factor though. Okay, now we just Control Z. That's gonna draw that empty again. Alright, so now we know that was too fast. Right, we are about three quarters through the turbines. I think maybe we can change some of this to heat pipes to have those catch up a bit. I mean, these cost 5 copper and 10 steel, while these cost 20 copper and 10 steel. So these cost twice as much steel as copper, and these cost twice as much copper as steel. Do we have a supply of steel? No, we are basically using up steel the most. We do have a supply of copper still, but steel chests are all empty. So it probably would benefit me if I... say I just did this. Oh, that's nice when you have a good bot network. Then we just do this. Try to catch up a little bit with the heat pipes. All kinds of weird little micromanagement to prioritize what is delivered to where. That probably looks horrible in my upload speed at the moment, but well, heat pipes should be catching up a little bit now. And I guess heat exchangers. We'll put in a couple extra chests there as well. These things require copper, but mostly gears and mostly iron basically, so these are a little bit faster because they use a lot less copper than the other two. Alright, a small update. What have we been doing? We started building out a giant Roboport highway, like so, which has a large bot throughput for our future builds. We kinda aimed these to miss all of the patches, so we are not wasting any of those patches. And last time we made a mining blueprint, which we can now simply paste on a patch, and that will eventually give us an automated 16 belts of iron, so we don't have to think anymore about building miners. This is a complete unit which smelts 16 belts of iron or copper, or without the furnaces it can just do 16 belts of coal, like so. Probably we need to tone coal and stone down a bit, because I didn't foresee that setting coal and stone to lower size would be a problem. But of course, if I want a universal miner blueprint which I can just paste on the patches, I should have also gone for maximum size coal and stone patches. There's no real reason to not do that. So yeah, I kind of shot myself in the foot there. The other thing we did is we built this giant power network, basically this skeleton which we use for our solar blueprint, which has the substations, the roboports, the radars and the lights apparently. And we are using that to cover all of these lakes so we can landfill the lakes. After we have landfilled the lakes, we need to deconstruct all of this again, one roboport row at a time, unfortunately. Because the power grid got messed up now. We got all these diagonal lines and custom placed roboports and all that kind of stuff. So we're just gonna delete this all again, and we'll be back with the same configuration as which we started with, except we'll have mysteriously completely landfilled in lakes. This is 200,000 landfill or so to place, so doing it with Spidertrons would not be faster, because basically their personal robots would run out of juice all the time, and I would have to babysit them way too much, whereas with this method I could cover all of the lake with the roboport construction coverage, which is green, and all of the bots can just now place this landfill in the background while I do other stuff, which does not include watching the bots place that. But somehow I cannot stop myself. It's just too mesmerizing. Man, look at those. This is what happens when you don't have a good bot highway. This is what we're gonna avoid in our main base, but for the solar grid it's acceptable, because they only all what needs to be built is a solar grid there, so we're not in a hurry. We're currently still running on nuclear power over here. 7 gigawatts still. And this is just powering itself basically. All it does is power itself. It is using 1 gigawatt for the for the roboports. Alright. So I kinda should come back here myself one more time, because some of the construction bots got deconstructed. A lot more construction bots will get deconstructed, because we're gonna be deconstructing all of these roboports later, which means more of those bots are gonna end up in chests instead of in the roboports. And I did not make a system where I request bots to be inserted back into the roboports, so I probably should go and do something about that. Place one more roboport there. I think I have a plan. I'm gonna need like 8 requester chests, I have those, and some stack inserters. And I guess I'm just manually gonna walk over there. Do I need anything else? I guess I could use it to bring fish back. Oh, it looks like I have to get out of my... Let's have a watch. I should get out of... oh, we should empty these spiders perhaps as well. We can take those guys with us. Let's do that. I did clean up my bar a little bit. Landfill leader. I have to set wood to 0. Five, 6, 7, 8, 9. Right. So that should provide a whole batch new wood for my steel furnaces to smelt away. Let's attach that guy to myself. I'm gonna try to walk over to those wood chests so the logistics bots don't need to fly too far. Alright, I'm wondering, do I have a buffer chest with fish somewhere? Where is my fish at? Is it just somewhere here? I think I already got a dedicated chest of fish somewhere. Perhaps at the spider. Oh, yeah, there's buffer chest at the spider. Alright, then we can grab our fish there and put him in the lake at the end of the stream. But first we're gonna be gathering all the fish from the area we just cleared. And meanwhile we're also gonna fill up with landfill again. I should keep this on now. So now it's important that I don't have these areas connected yet. That keeps it nice and separated. So I'm gonna get out again. Now we do want 8,000 landfill. Let's grab this guy. Alright, that should be all of them. It looks like not a lot is happening, but these bots are just flying back and forth really fast. And before you know it, that's 80,000 landfill delivered to the spiders. Alright. Now we're out of bot range again, which is important because now we need to set this to 0 again, so the logistics bots at the solar fields can unload all of this landfill. And also we need to set wood to 8,000. I'm gonna set fish to 8,000 though for the landfill leader, because I cannot. We totally fished the seas empty, and we cannot We cannot carry it all by ourselves. So we're gonna request 8,000 fish for the landfill leader. I guess the spider here is also gonna request 8,000 fish. My own spider. And that should be enough to carry over those 12,000 fish or so. It may actually be more. Let's have a look. No, 12,000 fish. Alright, we're gonna be good then. So this guy will request wood again. We did not really... Or not really, we did really not chop down any more trees for this moment. So I guess we'll leave the landfill spiders there. Okay. Okay, that caught my eye even though the phone was not in the field of vision. Alright, looks like I missed a bunch of chat. I'm gonna read chat in just a moment while we are on the way. Alright, so we got our spiders here. All of these spiders are requesting wood and putting the landfill they have now in the trash slots. So that's another 80,000 landfill which we are offloading. Now we just gotta ignore all the existing Roboport grids. If I remember correctly, if I walk like so, and then like so, I can walk right here without cutting through any water. And then we can run right into the mouth over here without actually getting into the logistics bots range, because we deleted the Roboports from the center line here. So this green area is not accessible to logistics bots, so they won't fly out until we are actually close to these chests over here. We've only got 27,000 landfill left, by the way. But looks like all of the landfill has been allocated to at least one construction bot. So we're probably gonna have enough for this. Anyway, I guess let's leave it on this view. And I will read through chat a little bit. Bye, Tiger T. If I'm not too late yet. I'm gonna scroll up first to where I remember messages. Yeah, this is exactly why the supercharger is useful. Again, a bot highway will do the job as well, but it covers a lot of area and Roboports, which is not quite nice. I do like the 2x2 Roboports from Warptorio as well, by the way. What has been done today? Basically landfilling in the lake. Those lakes on the right side, as is happening right now. Plus like preparing a bot highway for the 10,000 signs per minute base. Odium already answered that. Seems like a lack of steel. No, it's just like we are trying to produce too much. We don't really have a lack of steel. We have got a full red belt of steel incoming, which is gonna produce what we need to produce faster than we can spend it. So steel is good for the home base. Why go solar? Because presumably the UPS difference is significant. I think it is significant with 10,000 signs per minute, as we will drop under 60 UPS for sure. So we're just gonna do as much as we can to get as high UPS as possible. I'm not sure if this entire solar endeavor was worth it though, because we're spending really a lot of time on it. First we build a special factory. Where are we now? Over here. First we build a special factory, like 75 hours ago, to produce those all those solar panels and accumulators. Now we are producing all of those substations, which I forgot about. We are producing those in our home base. So that is eating up the steel and copper currently for what we are trying to produce for nuclear. We are producing nuclear because we're gonna match nuclear with solar in the end, just to see the UPS difference. But basically we gotta grow the nuclear plant to 5 times its current size, so something like this, while the solar field has got to be this entire screen full of solar panels. Just if you measure the raw real life time you spend on this, I don't think you're gonna win this back with solar. We have been producing solar panels for 75 hours in a dedicated factory and we still haven't produced enough. It's gonna take another 45 hours. Whereas nuclear can just be produced easily on the site, even for the same power outage of 80 gigawatts. We're gonna have 80 gigawatts in the end, 80. But yeah, in the end, if you ignore production and construction cost, in the end, when it actually matters, when the 10,000 signs per minute base is running, we're gonna have a higher UPS, theoretically. Practically too, we're gonna have higher UPS, that's for sure. Don't get Mike started on solar versus nuclear. No, don't do it, don't do it. Don't do it. Yeah, we're gonna see exactly the impact, because I'm gonna build both and I'm just gonna chop off parts of the map with the nuclear plant and parts of the map with the solar, and just see the difference it makes. It looks like the lakes are about to be completely landfilled. We are getting it done. $30 UPS, I think that's a pretty good guess for 10k SPM. I hope it's also a pretty good guess for 10k SPM plus streaming at the same time. I wonder how far you scroll back. Pretty far. Yeah, I got rid of the biters with the Spidertron trick. They are not turned off through settings. Thanks Sly Slime as well for the 8-month subscription. Another one from the beginning. Negotiations were short. Could you show a single unit of your solar farm real quick? Yes. I would like to connect the entire 10k SPM through a single wooden power pole. Done deal, let's do that. Kinda like in Crastorio, where that end game gigawatts thing I forgot how it was called. Was also powered with one wooden power pole. Alright, here we go. The lakes are finally completely being filled in. The last little spots are disappearing. And we have 120 UPS again, which means most of the bots are away. Right, so now the thing is, we are standing here. How much landfill do we have left? 27,000. Alright, 27,000. We have another 80,000 in the spiders, which are now gonna bring over. And the logistics bots here are just gonna unload all that landfill into the chests, and we're gonna pick up all the fish. Delivery has priority over unloading apparently, because the fish is getting done first, and now only the landfill is getting offloaded of all the spiders here. Looks like they want to put it in these chests, so let's try to walk a bit more close by. Alright, now they're putting it in those chests. But don't be so difficult. Right, I like to keep this line a bit short. If I should have made a system instead of just randomly putting it in storage chests if I didn't want the bots to fly out all over the place into unpredictable places. I guess it's good enough though. Alright, so I guess we once more try to deconstruct everything off the ground. Should be nothing left really. And after that's done, we're gonna just do this line by line. So we got the Roboport networks, so we can just basically do this. Wait for the bots to pick everything up, and those are gonna bring it back. And now we have a lot less than 24,000 bots in the construction network, which is why I brought these requester chests. Alright. Alright, so now we have 16,000 bots of capacity. I guess we could make it the full 24,000. And we'll just force all of those bots back into the Roboports. I guess I could do buffer chests instead. Okay, here comes another load of building materials. We've got 150,000 solar panels in here at the moment. Alright, the requests are saved. So now we should eventually get back to 24,000 bots in the network. One bot is probably being brought back still. Or perhaps one bot is in a disconnected Roboport somewhere. Alright. I jumped in the wrong spider at Oh, actually no, I accidentally copy-pasted a landfill follower onto Spider. Onto Spider-Man as well as the landfill leader. Sorry, Spider-Man. I think Spider-Man was supposed to be yellow. I think we were yellow. I think this happened when I did the copy pasting on these chests or something. Right, we got a landfill leader again and the rest is followers. The landfill leader was darker green, like 63 perhaps. Alright, so we can differentiate him from the followers. Alright, that is fixed again. I do want to leave my landfill spiders here though. And I can move out again. So we got the 12,000 fish from the lakes in our inventory. We can march back out of the moat down to here, and I guess we'll just go right out of the logistics network for now, because I don't know what I did so far. So in terms of logistics requests, I think with all of these bots in the network here, we're gonna do the thing where we deconstruct all the trees and rocks in this area. Now that we have this capacity anyway. That's gonna bring out a lot of bots again. Hopefully not all of them, but with a little bit of luck we can get empty most of the roboports, so that the roboports do not need to be deconstructed with like 300 bots inside, which would be bad. That means we're gonna have like 100 construction bots picking up 300 other construction bots, instead of them just finding a new refuge. But if the roboports are empty, it's gonna be way easier to deconstruct all of them. Yeah, level 51, level 50 really, but 51 better. Level 51, 6 miners with Mark III speed modules, not to forget, can compress a blue belt, and that's what our design is built around. Yeah, that's why we are now teching mining productivity. We gotta get to level 51 to properly test our 10,000 signs per minute designs without going into editor mode all the time, because yeah, we don't have the mining production capacity at the moment. Bots hate you, yes, the feeling is mutual. This base does not have a train network, no. It's been like a sort of a side challenge. We're gonna complete this playthrough hopefully without the use of rail signals. So no train. There are gonna be trains, but there's not gonna be a train network. I may have to do rail signals on the 10,000 signs per minute base, because we're gonna have multiple trains on the same track probably, because one train is just not gonna be able to keep up with transporting 10,000 signs per minute to the home base. I don't think so. We'll have to see. Maybe we can. Yeah, without signals indeed. We have a horrible train network. we have who needs train signals when you have artillery wagons, right? Alright, anyway, now comes the horrible part. Right, we're bringing all the wood. All the wood gets loaded onto my landfill spiders, I hope. Yeah, those are just collecting all the wood. So yeah, we are loading wood on the train as well. But the amount of wood we chop down is just too much for this train to bring everything back. So we're calling in the help of some of the spiders for that. Alright. So now comes the horrible part. Now comes the horrible part. Decons, temp, grid. Alright, now we need to deconstruct that entire grid again we just built to properly rebuild it with everything in the right place. That we're gonna have to do like line by line. So I'm gonna make I guess I can use this one, but we blacklist trees and rocks. Actually, there are no trees and rocks anymore. So we can just use a regular deconstruction planner. Actually, no, I think we gotta do one where we ignore raiders. Because if we deconstruct a raider prematurely, that could be bad. because then we cannot deconstruct the stuff which is in the fog of war anymore. So I guess we're just gonna leave those raiders up there. They're gonna be reconnected once the grid is built. It's only 4 grids per 6x6 blueprint. I still gotta do the unit thing. So this is the unit. It doesn't fit on the screen, but it is this big. And it looks like this. Oh, thanks Odium. Thanks for the 10 gifted subscriptions. I started hearing all the tsh in the background. Lubricant and artillery wagons, that's where it's at. Well, if I don't build trains, somebody has got to make the tsh sounds, right? Anyway, this is one unit. We've got a 6:5 ratio of solar panels against accumulators. And there's basically 6x6 chunks, so pretty big. And we have logged it to the absolute grid, so it's just easy to properly align. If you shift click we can shift click, that's true. But we did place a bunch of extra roboports everywhere, like here, so there the grid would be not correct anymore. Let's Control Z that real quick before all of the bots immediately start trying to build the solar grid which I just placed. So we're just gonna delete this line by line. So no more fish, there is nothing else anymore. We just gotta ignore the raiders. Because if we don't blacklist the raiders, we cannot access this stuff which we cannot see. We cannot deconstruct anything over here. These trees cannot be selected. These can be, but as soon as this chunk pops out of existence, any day now, now nothing is marked for deconstruction anymore. So we can only deconstruct it when it's actually visible. So we gotta keep the raiders visible. Now we're just gonna do this, one line of roboports deep at a time, and hope for the best. It's gonna bring back all the substations, all the roboports, the entire grid is gonna be brought back to the center, and then we can just replace it. We're just gonna place it out in a spiral again, like we were doing. The benefit is now we got completely landfilled lakes, so we don't need to worry about that anymore. We just worried about that right now, so we don't need to worry about that when we actually want to place all of the solar panels. Alright, so looks like we are missing a couple things here. Just caught it. I guess we're not gonna sweat it too much that there's like a couple substations here perhaps which have not been picked up. Maybe we should just start from... Did I use the proper... Maybe I didn't use the right one. Well, this is a kind of a unique situation, as this is not connected to anything else, so let's just start clearing some of these extra ports. Oh, these are full of bots. Perhaps I should not be... deconstructing them prematurely. It's a little bit late for that though. Okay, we're gonna do this at 120 UPS, because this is just taking a long time if we don't. So this is the main reason what's going on? Sudden UPS freeze. This is the main reason I avoided all these large bodies of water, which is why I was so hell-bent on trying to find a large enough area to fit my entire blueprint. Right, I'm not sure what happened there. I may have just not used my blueprint, my deconstruction planner correctly there. This is connected here still, so we can safely deconstruct the far side. Should be good. Yeah, now I cannot select this for deconstruction because it does not have radar coverage. So I probably just mismanaged that. Yeah, super force build would be great to have for this kind of thing. Then, all right, I made a mistake here. We gotta build this back slowly. Now this is disconnected. These bots they don't know what to do. I hope they are not gonna go. I hope they're not gonna try to fly out to like an existing other bot network, which means they'll probably contaminate my nuclear network, which doesn't have any construction bots at all, and I would like to keep it that way. Okay, now it's connected again. Okay. Man, this is annoying. So now we can do this. So we gotta keep that line into existence still. Okay, now these didn't get picked up. That's it's always annoying to deconstruct large areas of things, because if the robot gets deconstructed first before a bot is assigned to the substations here, you just have a problem. Gotta catch the launches. Maybe I'll just let me just quickly Put all my fish in the trash slots. Alright, now we got that. Now we got a bunch of fish to drop in the lake at the end of the stream. Right here, another substation. It's okay. We don't need everything deconstructed. We should just be... Oh, is this gonna... Stop. Yeah, this is gonna be disconnected again. Oh, this is so horrible. Alright, that is one section. Next section. You can see the substation on the map, this pixel over here. Okay, this has been disconnected now as well. Luckily this chunk is being scanned so we can reconnect it. You know what? I think there's a better way to do it. I probably should just complete the grid and then I can deconstruct it without any issue, I think. Just complete the grid on all these lakes and then just deconstruct it properly, and then we don't disconnect all of this all the time. That's probably a way better approach now that I think about it. So let's see how far we got over here. Is this still being built? Looks like yes. Here comes the next batch. So yeah, it is taking a while, but it is gonna get done. We build it out to this point. Good night, obsolete alien. I want to deconstruct this again, then build one ring out here. Is there anything else I want to do here? Not really sure. I don't think I want to further contaminate this area with roboports until I have an idea of what I'm gonna be doing. House pollution, still not across the edge. I guess these landfill spiders should be coming back home. There's still 2.3 thousand fish in here, which I somehow missed. I forgot which hotbar everything is on. The landfill leader can lead all of these spiders out of there again. Right, okay, now we got a... that is much better. Now we've got a regular, fully gridded roboport network here. Which we can easily deconstruct like one row at a time without disconnecting everything. Still though, the radars have got to remain existing. Alright, this is gonna get filled in again as well. Yeah, look at this mess over here. Cannot live with that. Alright, a nice square roboport grid. There's more rows than columns, but then again, if we deconstruct row by row, then we're gonna be left over. I'm a little bit slow at 120 UPS for catching the rocket launches, so let's stay here. Looks like I should keep my radars powered as well, a bit better. This is deconstructed though, just the radar coverage is not there. This is no longer existing. We would see the overlay on the map, which we don't, so it's a little bit annoying, but eventually... Oh, that entire corner is actually visible. You know what? I have a solution for that. We have these spiders here. I was gonna use them for combat, but I don't think we'll be doing combat this episode. We are just gonna use those to scout this terrain. They don't have robots on them. So we should be good. Robots were kinda weird in that regard. Sometimes they just wait for forever for a construction bot which is located inside the unpowered roboport. Like here, 109 bots inside. They could take themselves out, but they don't unless I cancel and redo the command. Well, looks like here there were still some unplaced entities from the full rebuild. Let's get rid of those so they don't take up slots in the robot building queue. Alright, after this we know what's up again. I don't think we went much further than that. Alright. Those were rocket launchers 1500 through 1510 from the 1000 signs per minute base. Alright, we got an update of the land, just that these radars are still there, which is alright. Those will automatically be reconnected again once we get far enough out there. Just keep going. It's like 15 more times or so. At least there's enough bots here. Alright, I think I believe it. These guys can go back. Alright, looks like the bot density is becoming lower. The bots are gonna be coming from further away, it seems. I guess it makes sense, most of them are here, because the last task they did was place all the landfill in the lake. Looking forward to anything in particular in 2.0? Yeah, the very issue we're dealing with right now, the forced blueprint, the super force building, and the automatic stuff on top of the landfill thing for the bots. That would be pretty great. Alright, already bots from far away are coming in. Means the rest is gonna go a bit slower, probably. Oh yeah, we're out of bots in this area, it seems. How's it going with heat pipe production? Alright, yeah, looks like steel is no longer the bottleneck now. Now we are using up all of our copper. I think that's good. I think we're using up all copper and all steel. So we are making the most out of our incoming resources by better balancing heat pipe and substation production. Oh yeah, no more bots in here, they're all coming from far away. We cannot go much faster than 120 UPS anymore with the 1000 signs per minute base. So just gonna have to sit through this. Sorry, what is bot speed at? Bot speed is at 15 or so, but they are zipping mostly because this is the actual speed. I'm just using a speed up game for some of the tedious tasks to save both yours and my time. I guess once all of these bots have flown out, I can safely deconstruct the next line. Question mark. Here's rocket launch 1510 through 1520. Let's watch from a bird's eye perspective. Alright, here comes the solar panel train. Hey SDB, thanks for the 8-month subscription, late one. Not only me, looks like you're late as well. Yeah, I started late. It was not gonna happen today until suddenly it was. So yeah, here we are. What are we doing? We built this thing. A big reverse L shape, the Roboport highway for like the base of our construction capabilities for the 10,000 signs per minute base, which is going to be in this area. Basically just a repeating grid of Roboports in a densely packed format. So that's going to have a lot of bot throughput, way more than we have here. And we landfilled in these lakes, but that caused, of course, the power network to be unacceptably damaged everywhere. So we also placed extra roboports at random, so we have to get rid of everything again before we can properly build out again. At least the entire area here has been landfilled now. It's fascinating how the rockets always fly in the same pattern. Wonder what causes it. There's a simple trick to that. We've got these, we deleted the inserters which insert the satellite into the rocket silos. And we made a blueprint of those 10 inserters, and then we basically stood over here, placed the blueprint, so this inserter got placed first, then like these 3, they got placed all a little bit later. The further the rocket silo is away from me, the later that inserter got placed, and that is what causes the cool rocket pattern. And because our production is actually, let me first select the next line over here. Oh, it would be so nice if the bots could fly further. Because our production is high enough, our production is slightly higher than the capacity of the rocket silo to launch rockets. So basically the rockets are never idle and they always launch. They are never idle, so the pattern never changes because it takes a set amount of time for the rocket to prepare and for the rocket to be built, so that pattern has been going on from the start. Alright, we're getting closer and closer. Yeah, we are fixing these power lines for sure. We're just deleting everything. We're just gonna spiral on out, but we made it so that we can spiral out for like at least 2 times, or I think 4 times or so before we hit the next lake. These were all these small annoying lakes. Like some power poles still exist here, that's alright. They are marked for deconstruction, I imagine. Perhaps it's time for the white spider to come back and take a look at these. If they are marked for deconstruction, that's good, then the bots are just gonna deconstruct them whenever we pass by again with our giant blueprint. I think the first pass is actually good because there was no water involved in there. The second pass was also good, so we only need to deconstruct until this line. We're almost done, that means. And I think we meanwhile have enough substations here. 19,000. I think we need in total like 20,000 substations to build 2 rings out at the same time, so like 1 more train load and we should have enough. We also will be deconstructing a couple more here. Yeah, they are marked for deconstruction, so that's alright. That means the bots are just gonna pick them up before placing new ones, and the power line pattern will be fixed. Alright, so we got like 1, 2, 3 more lines of roboports. No, 2 more lines of roboports and a line of substations to deconstruct, and that should be everything. How many SPM? 1k. We're gonna be at 1k SPM for the next 200 hours probably, and then we're just gonna jump to 10k SPM in one big jump. It's not one of those bases which just builds 100 signs per minute modules for 100 times or something. We're gonna have a dedicated large build. We're gonna build every ingredient separately. Then we're going to test if it all works correctly, and if it all works correctly we go on to the next one while switching off while letting the successful one fall idle, and that way we should be able to keep 60 UPS for the entire game until we actually switch on everything at the same time at the very end once everything is done. And then we just watch and celebrate, I guess. Alright. We are almost there. I guess the white spider can go back to where it came from. This is the connection point between the grids. You can see it because of the weird axis on the water. They're not weird, but they shouldn't be there. Right, so that's all the roboports which needed to be deconstructed. Now if I deconstruct all of these substations, we are basically done. I'm pretty sure actually here was some water. Let's manually check that. I think I don't see weird crosses over here. I think this power pattern is completely regular, so we are good on that. Alright, I don't want to risk it. Five more. And then we're just gonna end with a giant build montage of one more circle. It would be nicer if this outcrop is not there then, so let's just get rid of that as well. If all of these bots are gone, we can do the next one. Alright, all of the bots are flying. Next swoop of bots. You know, you could just divide out over more roboports instead of all bunching up like this. And now the incoming bots home are gonna interfere as well. Don't jump the line. Alright, so now there's only 18,000 bots or 19,000 bots in the network. We have deconstructed so many roboports that all of these bots are now sitting in these buffer chests. But as soon as we start placing the solar blueprints, all of the bots are gonna slowly be called upon, and all these bots will be inserted back into the network. And hopefully we'll get back to 24,000 bots that way. Alright, I'm too late for the rockets. Yeah, they're gone. I think that's the last roboports, right? Yeah, this is the grid. The first, I know for a fact the first blueprint was dot in the water. I can actually now do this. Where's my sixth bar? This can be deleted again. We can put this on the bar. Just in case there's a tiny pond of water. Before we do any substation placement, we can just force place this landfill on the ring we are about to place. And then at least the landfill will get placed if there's like a tiny spot of water which we didn't see. Like, let's say this is water, it will get landfilled in. Alright then. Again, just this one line of substations remaining. Alright, and that means the annoying part is done. Annoying part done. Let's build. Okay, I'm messing up my keys. Alright, so we got 19,154 bots in the network, which means there's almost 5,000 bots waiting to be inserted back into the network. The train is bringing another load of stuff. We have 24,000 substations, which is enough for 2 loops. We're just gonna start with 1 loop though. Let's just go clockwise. Okay, we'll switch off the grid. We will see the roboport still, but with the grid we can go a little bit faster. New roboports and radars are springing into existence. Hydrate. Alright, I got the water bottle. Right, it does seem that as soon as a roboport is placed, the original blueprint stamps are prioritized over the rest. It is not going out one blueprint at a time, apparently, so that's useful to know. Also, I should get rid of the central roboports here. This one as well, but I cannot select it for deconstruction until we got a radar placed over here. There's the roboport. I couldn't get rid of it, now I got rid of it. Alright, that's good. One of these few bots building a solar grid, but right now they are just building the power network for the next circle, the next square circle. I'm actually missing radars in my delivery over here. Okay, I can fix that remotely. What's going on with these chests? I set it to this. Let's do more radars then. So the problem is radars I just force feed. I only have 4 radars per blueprint, but looks like it's still not enough radars being brought over. So let's increase the capacity for radars, so we don't need to wait on like a couple train rides every time. I think we're almost completely done. Only the last corner is being built right now as we speak. Let's watch at normal speed. Right, I guess the bots are coming in. Alright, that's the robot build as well. I think all the bots are done. That did not call up on all the bots. It did call up on some of the bots. We now have 21,000 bots back in the network. But now we're gonna get all of them back in the network with this giant placement of roboport. But first, actually, wait. We need to do the trees and the rocks. Whitelist them. To get all of the... we're gonna get all of the bots back to the center. Yeah, that's another 125,000 wood, 11,000 stone, and 2,400 coal. And also I should do the item on ground thing. All the stone which is laying on the ground needs to be deconstructed as well. That's not as much, but then we don't need to do that in the combat phase, or in the solar panel placement phase anymore. This is solar, yeah, we're I don't know. Solar is better for UPS, but I think I've been spending, I don't know, I feel like I've been spending 20 hours already on preparing and doing all the solar stuff. That's a lot of lost time to get back. I kinda get a feeling I just should have accepted like 10% less UPS for the 10,000 sites per minute base and just skip this, all of this. Although it does give like pretty pictures. We're getting all of those nice bot patterns all the time, which is kind of mesmerizing. Right, Odium, see you next time. Right, so what's happening now, all the trees and rocks are getting deconstructed and the bots closest to those trees and rocks are getting called upon. And only once no close by bots are available anymore, they are going to be called up from the center. And that means all of the bots from the distant regions are called upon to bring back trees back. So there are no more bots present in the distant robots. All of them are going to be flying back to the center because that's where all the storage chests are, where they are bringing their trees and rocks and stone and coal. And that means once we place the solar panels and the accumulators, they're all just gonna be present in the center already, which means we are not gonna get like interference with bots flying in from far away with the bots flying outwards to place solar panels, and that way we can make optimal use of all of the roboports at the same time. So the bots are just gonna be flying in one direction only, well, at least for the first pass. After the bots are called up for the second time, they're gonna, of course, fly back to the center again. How much solar power are you gonna need in the end? latest predictions are 70 gigawatts and we are preparing for about 80. So we have a small margin of error. We're also preparing 80 gigawatts of nuclear power, so we can do the UPS comparison at the test and decide for once and for all what the actual effect of nuclear on UPS is in an actual megabase, one where it matters. If you can run 60 UPS, it doesn't matter what you do. If you can build as inefficient as you want. If you run 60 UPS, you can play the game at normal speed. So, but with 10,000 signs per minute, we're definitely gonna get into the territory where we are dropping below 60 UPS, and things like solar versus nuclear will matter in that case. How much does this current construction? That's a good question. We'll have a look. More than 1 gigawatt, because that was what we were pulling just from the bots charging. I guess we can just zoom in a bit. So we have 11 gigawatts of production capacity. But you should multiply that by about 2/3 because you need to bridge the night period and you need to have overproduction in the day to recharge the accumulators. So if it was 12 gigawatts in the production overview, you actually have only 8 gigawatts of continuous power. If you include the night and the overproduction, you need to charge up the accumulators again. So now it's getting night, this is dropping. It's going to be 0 gigawatts for a while and then it goes up again. On average it's about 2/3. And precisely it's 42 kilowatts per solar panel instead of 60. 42 like if you compensate for the night time. Alright, the bots are still not done. Guess we're like... This is mass deforestation over here. At least we're putting it to use. We're not burning it up with the flamethrower or just blowing up chests of wood. We're actually bringing it all back to the base. Temporarily storing it in these chests over here. And we are bringing it out over here where we are using it to smelt our copper and iron for the actual base. So these furnaces are now running on wood for the most part. Alright, I should have done this sooner. Let's try to not copy paste this spider on Spidertron this time. Okay, that's all the wood, I guess. So let's get those guys close by the landfill again, so we can bring over the next batch, but that's not going to be soon. That's going to be a while. Alright, these bots are just about done. The last of the bots are just about to come back with the goodies. And then we can actually start placing the next ring of solar panels. It's getting a bit large to really portray very well. Right, I feel like we didn't get too much done today, but I guess that's alright. We didn't do any design work today, that is the thing. We did get the bot network up in place, the bot highway, and we landfilled those annoying lakes, which is an achievement all in itself. And now we're just gonna enjoy the next circle of solar placement from the bots, and that's gonna be it for today. Yeah, so that's gonna probably take about 20 minutes or so, I would say. So if you have any questions, feel free to ask them in the chat, because I have a lot of time to talk. 269 time for solar. And I guess we're gonna fall down to 60 UPS again. Alright. Here we go. We got a new strategy. So theoretically, yeah, 24,000 bots are already back in the network. And my blueprint has less than 6,000 entities. So I can do things like, let's first align the map. So if I place the 4 corners first, the bots are gonna fly out in all 4 directions sequentially, and they're not gonna interfere with each other. 1, 2, 3, 4. I think before I just did this, but I think it's better if I just skip a little bit. Like 1, 2, 3 perhaps. And then the 4th, 1, 2, 3, and the 4th. 1, 2, 3, and the 4th. 1, 2, 3, and the 4th. Let's do the 3rd, because that makes a nice pattern. So everything is going to be placed in this order until we run out of bots. As you can see, all of these have been tasked. Then all of these started flying out. All of this first blueprint has been tasked. Now we are flying out to the southeast. And once all of those has been tasked, we're gonna fly out to the southwest over here. And all of these bots are not interfering with each other, and they are optimally charging in the few roboports we have in this blueprint. Now once all of these have been tasked, the ones which are... accidentally scrolled over there. The ones which were tasked with this are going to be called back, and they are going to go to this blueprint over here, which we place 5th of all. So these are already flying out over there, and now these are going to be called back, and pretty soon we're going to run out of bots, I imagine. And then we're just slowly gonna build the rest in a sprinkled pattern until everything is complete. Maybe I should read chat if I asked you to to ask questions. That could be something. Have you heard of the turning off Roboport optimization in the next version? No, actually, I have not. Can you turn off Roboports? I did read about the optimization where I think Roboports are getting some inbuilt radar functionality, and radars are therefore the radar functionality is going to be more optimized. But I did not know about or read about Roboports which can be turned off completely. Yeah, we are indeed building the solar farm. I wonder how much resources you spend on this solar farm. We can kinda calculate this. I'm gonna need 2 million solar panels. Solar panel is 5 steel, that's 25 iron. It is 5 copper, so that's 25 and 5, and 15 circuits, so that's 40 iron and 37.5. Let's say 80 resources per solar panel times 2 million. That is 160 million resources on solar panels. And then accumulators is a bit less. Those are like 2 iron and 5 batteries, which are another 6 iron and 5 copper, something like that. So let's say 12-ish resources per accumulator times a little bit less than 2 million. So that's 20 million on accumulators, but 160 million on solar panels. And then the substations, they are not cheap either. Substations are more expensive than solar panels, but we only need 1/10 of them. Alright, the pattern is working. The bots are avoiding each other as best as we possibly can achieve here. So yeah, in comparison, the 80 gigawatts nuclear plant will cost roughly 1/10 of that, of the solar field. So let's say all in all, just a rough estimation, 200 million resources for 80 gigawatts of solar, whereas we will need only 20 million of resources for 80 gigawatts of nuclear. And I'm kind of starting to think I just should have gone with nuclear, because I was just spending too much time on the solar field, man. Could have been so much further if we just went with nuclear and just would have ate the couple UPS in the very end when it actually starts to matter. Only after we switch on the full 10,000 science per minute base will we drop below 60 UPS, I think. And during the construction of this giant solar field, so there's that. But yeah, I could have simulated the solar field with just one of those electric energy accumulators from editor mode, which basically generates as much power as you want, similar to a giant solar field with the same UPS cost, I believe. But hey, at least now we can test an actual in-game situation. So there's that. Trying to find the positive where there is none. Anyway. K2 flashback, I think I kinda missed it. Maybe that was still about the single wooden power pole switching everything on. I thought you preferred blasting chests with missiles from inside your Spidertron. I did do that in the... I did do it for the green chips with the all achievements run with 100% byte revolution. There I just destroyed the green chips, so there was more space for green chip production. But for the rest, I I don't really ever blow up resources. Somehow I don't like it. If you could add one thing to Factorio, what would it be? Huh. I think what I would like most is like infinite technologies for the robot battery. So currently the flight distance of the bots are limited. With so bots, they consume energy per unit of time, which you can upgrade a little bit, but they also consume energy per flown meter, which basically is the ceiling. If they get infinitely fast, you still have the energy per meter, which determines the maximum flight distance before a bot needs to recharge. I would very much like it if the internal bot battery could be upgraded with infinite technology, just like we can with mining productivity, bot speed, artillery shooting speed and range. Because once you get to these kind of stages where we are now, the bot recharging and bot flight is kind of a limiting factor. I also would like it if in that case, the infinite technology should not include a longer charging time at the roboport. So I guess the battery efficiency should be improved of the bot, but the charging time at the roboport should still be the same. And that way you can actually tech towards improving your bot throughput, which would be a very nice thing to have in like post-end game situations like building mega bases. That and bots, I think this is coming to 2.0, that and bots not flying back to the same roboport to charge and get stuck in infinite cycles, because now you gotta be really careful with the shape of your overall roboport network to make sure bots don't get stuck, which is really easy to do. But I think that is going to be solved in 2.0. Bots are gonna like fly. I don't exactly remember how it worked. I remember reading about it. Bots are gonna fly out. They're gonna search for a charge point roughly in the direction they were already flying to. I think something like that. Do you think it's smart to name your games time for some solar? Well, fortunately, I'm not sure if I should say fortunately, I know my own humor, so I kinda can decode most of the weird stuff I name things. Alright, we are really generating a nice pattern here on screen. Why does it not show bot queues on the bottom right? Well, now it does, but in the beginning it takes quite a while to call 24,000 24,000 construction bots to a task. Logistics bots are called upon way faster per second than construction bots. Those get called upon a bit slower, which means if, let's say, the first 12,000 bots get called upon sequentially, but then the first of those 12,000 bots start having built their thing, that means those bots are gonna get back in the robots resting, which means the already slow rate of calling upon construction bots is gonna be offset a little bit further even by the first bots already starting to rest again. So it can take quite a little bit of time before all bots are in the air like now. Favorite kind of ice cream? Italian. That's probably not what you meant, but in general in Italy you get a really good ice cream. I like chocolatey flavors, but also like this tiramisu flavored or cappuccino flavored ice cream. It kind of depends on. Sometimes lemon can be really good, but that's kind of hit and miss, lemon. Robopods will turn off on their own until needed. Alright, that would be good because I don't intend to deconstruct all the roboports in my entire solar grid, as you maybe saw in this episode before. That is quite an annoying task, and once I've got 28 wide 6x6 chunk blueprint stamped out all over the place, I'm definitely not gonna spend 5 hours to deconstruct all roboports. And I think it's kinda fair that those roboports used to build the solar grid are gonna be part of the UPS consumption of the solar grid. So it's probably not gonna be worse than nuclear, but it's still gonna have some sort of influence, I imagine. That question was not at all about solar versus nuclear. I kinda can bend any question into a debate on solar versus nuclear. You need more drop-off stations so the bots don't travel so far. I don't think it's worth the time to set up. I already spent the time to set up everything in the center, so that is as far as I wanted to go. Originally I just intended to do it from a corner, but I fortunately realized that would be a bad plan from the start. Probably would still be fast enough though. I mean, we're building way faster than we can produce. We can actually check out the build statistics once this blueprint is done, to see how many blueprints were placed in like 10, or how many solar panels were placed in 10 minutes. Can you print a huge part of the solar field? I'm kind of doing that. I mean, this was like 36 stamps of 6x6, so that's 36 squared. So that's over 1000 chunks of solar placement, what is being built right now. That's over 1 million tiles, which will be filled by the construction bots. I would say that's a sizable chunk. Every one of these 36 stamps has almost 3000 solar panels, so let's say 30 times 3000 plus a little bit. That's 100,000 solar panels in this outer ring, which we are building right now. Plus, of course, about 83,000 substations. And I can do something else. Yes, theoretically I could do something else, but I just need to watch this, man. You just need to watch this. Yes. This time I'm not gonna leave this map view, so I can make it into a proper time lapse, perhaps, once it finally gets into an edited series. As it was about the wood furnaces. K2 flashback. Hey, yeah, actually, yeah. I used wood for the furnaces there as well. Because in Krastoria 2 you can actually produce wood from greenhouses. And because pollution was a thing and it was that world, and Castorio's early game is horribly slow to get going, especially in terms of military, that mattered quite a lot. So we used greenhouses and wood, if I remember correct, to fuel the furnaces from a pretty early point. In Castorio also, coal has an extra pollution modifier of like 250%. So by using wood, the furnaces were less polluting, and we were not mining coal with polluting miners, and we were producing wood in greenhouses, which actually absorb some pollution. So that was the thought process of using wood for furnaces in Castorio. Here it's kind of a different thought process. We just need to get rid of a couple million of wood because we need space for this giant solar field here. But yeah, the end result is the same. Steel furnaces running on wood. We're going like in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 directions simultaneously now. That's kinda nice. The 20 million circus achievement, I think it's just like it is so out of line with the rest of the achievements. It's kind of a miracle that the 100% speedrunners can time the completion of that one simultaneously with the other difficult ones. The Tech Maniac complete all technologies plus the couple extra infinite bot upgrades you need for follower bot upgrades for the 100 follower bot achievement. But yeah, 20 million is just so out of line with any of the other ones, it's not even funny. I would like to see the VODs updated a little more quickly so I can catch up on the stream. Yeah, I kinda had a problem with the second YouTube channel for a while, so I couldn't release videos, so I'm a bit behind right now. I am getting them up there like 2 to 3 times a week, so eventually we should close the gap to where you can continue watching on the Twitch VODs as well. But yeah, right now there's a gap between the oldest Twitch VODs and the newest YouTube uploads. That's just gonna be like that for a little bit more. I would love train underground tunnels. Well, we're getting bridges, so I guess metros would be a bit too OP from a game balancing perspective, and also visually it would suck to do metros, I think. Get that SimCity underground view. It's not really possible with this. I guess it is possible, but yeah, I don't know. It doesn't really fit. Thanks Ecstatic Adam for the Prime subscription as well. Infinite science is best used to increase the number of defender robots. Well, the annoying thing is the defender robot count infinite research is the only research which actually uses all 7 of your science packs. All of the other useful ones use only 6, like now mining productivity, that uses purple science but not military science. But once you switch to like artillery range upgrade or something, or laser damage, then you are no longer using purple science. You are using military science but not purple science. For some reason, follower bot count is the only technology which uses all 7 science packs. Even though it is also a military technology, I don't really know what the thought process behind that is. It's also the only one which is a 30 second per science pack infinite technology, the rest is 60 seconds. So you cannot even properly balance the laps around that. Alright, we are nearing the time, I think, where every bot will be assigned a task, and then we're going to get rid of those alerts. We're now going through the last of the full blueprint stamps, and then it's going to zigzag around a lot faster on the second loop. Those alerts, I mean. Here we go. Those were all the missing ones over there. When did you decide to make online content? I don't even remember. I mean, my oldest videos go back a long time. My channel history is weird when I think about it. So I guess I don't think I want to go in an entire channel history thing right now. I may do that on the podcast with Krydex, which I am invited for next week, if I remember correctly. So Krydex does a podcast. He already had Dosh Doshington, as well as streamers like Bold Viking, and I think last week he had Katerin of Sky there. I'm going to be on Krydex's podcast as well next week, so I'll talk about a bit more about channel history there. I do kind of need to refresh my memory though how it all went by looking back in my old videos, because it went really weird. I have a lot of different content on the older videos. Solar ice cream. The symbol says, I hate ads so much, they are so intrusive. Yeah, I know. I mean, you can always subscribe. If you cannot subscribe, you can get lucky with some gifted subscriptions one. But yeah, I guess it's just the way it is, man. When you watch online content for free, they're gonna throw ads in your face. And if I as a creator switch off ads, then my content is going to be less recommended to people around. So I would be shooting myself in the foot twice, right? Both I would, of course, the income from ads per person is like negligible, but all of it together is noticeable at least. And the other way of shooting yourself in the foot is just getting your streams or content recommended to less people, because the platform isn't making money of ads if you disable the ads, so they are less inclined to show your content to people. So it's kind of a necessary evil. You can also use an ad blocker, I don't mind, to get rid of ads. I'm not sure how it's going with the war of YouTube and Twitch on ad blockers. Looks like we are zapping around in all areas simultaneously now, so that means all of the bots are going to all of the missing fields are going to be assigned very soon, and all of those things are going to disappear very soon, and then we just need to wait for the bots to place the last items and return back to their roboports. I don't think I can quite keep up over here with all the questions. I think robots and raiders have pretty large power and UPS consumption. Raiders are not that big of a UPS consumption. In the Ultimate Death Roll Challenge I placed like 10,000 raiders to have the full scan range visible at all times, and it was like 2 milliseconds of update out of these 17-ish milliseconds you've got space for, and that was with a truly absurd amount of raiders. So raiders not too bad. Robots I don't really know. I kind of think it's about how active the bots are as well. But yeah, compared to 2.0 it's massive indeed. Can you show us your train unload and your solar production factor? I will do that after all of this is placed. Looks like all of the bots have been assigned now, so we're almost through, almost done with it. Are we missing some components? No, we're just missing bots. We've only got 24,000 bots over here. After Minecraft and Factorio, Mike is now into survival games. Be careful, I may start a full cookie clicker 100% achievement run. That means no Factorio content for 2 years probably. No, I'm not gonna do that. It was a one-off video, cookie clicker. Did you go to the Paris Olympics? No. If the product is free, you are the product. Nitro is a thing too. Thanks Freight Train for the subscription at Prime. If you have Amazon Prime, you can subscribe to one streamer for free, and that's another nice way to take money out of Jeff Bezos' pocket, be some sort of modern day Robin Hood, and redistribute it from the wealthiest of the earth to the lesser wealthy. You really play that cookie thing? Yes, if you didn't see on the YouTube channel, I kinda got obsessed with the speed baking tree. It was a thing. I was on the airport board and suddenly that popped into my mind, and then I had to figure it out, and then that speed baking tree achievement without any of the usual lucky stuff was the result of that. It is looking quite ready now, the blueprint. Almost fully done. I really played Cookie Clicker a couple years ago. Yeah, this really, you should be careful or it really can consume you. Should have saved the Cookie Clicker vid for April Fools. It's not really an April Fools video, it's a serious video. Of course, Dutch is interested in getting baked. Yeah. Alright, looks like I caught up with all of the comments and questions just in time. Alright, now I just gotta wait it out a little bit more because of the time-lapse thing. All of the yellow dots have got to settle, but it is definitely the last area on the map, the top left corner there. I'm not sure the pixels are even visible in the Twitch compression. That might screw up my entire time-lapse now that I think about it. But that was the last bot. No more bots are flying around. Let's see how much power we've got in this thing right now. Yeah, all 24,000 bots are idle. And we've got, instead of 11, 17.2 gigawatts. That means we're like, I don't want to say it, we're like 1/5 of the way there. Yeah, solar, great. This solar field is gonna save me so much time. I mean, if I could have designed 10,000 signs per minute of the first 4 science packs in all of the time I spend on the solar field by now. I feel. I don't know, maybe I'm underestimating how much work it will be to design 10k SPM for those first 4 science packs, but I really feel this is just wasting time, really. I mean, it's not just the production. I spent time designing the production, setting up the production. Once it was set up, this is fully automated, so I didn't have any look around to that anymore. We've got this set up, but then I needed to set up this entire area over here. That meant a lot of designing, a lot of exploring, a lot of biter blasting, setting up the train line, getting everything transported, designing the very dumb train. I only have dumb trains in my playthrough, which brings all the stuff over. We're actually bringing solar panels and accumulators over from the production area, offloading those into these chests, which get put into these chests, which get put into these chests, which get put into these chests, and then we're loading solar panels on the accumulator wagons, accumulators on the solar wagons. Because we need a little bit less accumulators, we also load the skeleton stuff, the power infrastructure and roboport and stuff on the accumulator wagon as well, in a weird way, a mechanical weird way without circuit network, which basically loads the wagon up with the correct amount of stuff every time. It is visible because I cannot click them now because I'm not really there, but these all these inserters take a certain amount of items per swing, and the wagon fills up exactly in a controlled way by controlling the inserter stack, by setting the inserter stack size without a without the circuit network, which means all these inserters are at rest when the wagon is full. So if we look over here, we can probably see some of these inserters are holding items over the rails. Their hand stack size is not empty. It's probably even more visible over here. Here, yeah, two inserters have still got some of those fuel cells in their hand. That is not the case over here, because here we made an effort to precisely control what gets loaded on the train every single cycle. The only thing we don't care about is raiders, because raiders were just pushing as much as possible and just limiting the chest size at the destination. So this is the only place where this happens, but we don't care about it. Alright. How much SPM are we at? Still 1000. We're going to be at 1000 for the entire game until everything is finished. Then we're just going to jump to 10,000 or 11,000, I guess. But we're going to switch off the 1000 signs per minute factory when we switch on the 10,000 signs per minute factory. Just the shape of this train station. It's a really strong shape. Kind of an old man's shape though. If it was oriented vertically, it would be a young man's shape, but now it's kind of an old man's shape. Still strong though. Alright, we have another 35 hours before these chests fill up completely with spent fuel cells, and we either have to do nuclear fuel reprocessing, but I guess we can just ignore nuclear fuel reprocessing, let everything get filled up anyway, and just go idle, because we were too lazy to do nuclear fuel reprocessing, and we can just connect the solar grid by that point. I mean, 17 gigawatts, 2/3 of that is like 12 gigawatts, so this is already about twice as much power as we need for our current 1000 signs per minute base, which needs only 7 gigawatts. So we don't really need to do nuclear fuel reprocessing at all. Kinda had great plans for filling all these chests, but then I started to actually use this landfill, so now we just are filling up all the gaps which the logistics bots took out of it. Alright. We can see the bots, no problem. Oh, that's nice. I guess the static shot kinda helped in that regard. Alright, we've got some business to do. That business involves switching off personal requests. Let's just put a steel chest here. I guess I can do this. Okay, I got 44 items. I just need to do this then. Okay, all of these presets then stay in my inventory. The spider is empty. Let's pick up all the bands. That is way too many bands. I guess we'll leave one stack in here. It's time to put some more fish in the lake. I've got 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9,500 fish. 10.5, let's say 11,000 fish to put in the lake here. 11,000 fish in addition to 41,000. We're gonna get over 50,000 fish in our starter lake. I guess let's get going. We'll make a save here. Deposit 11k fish. And then miss the enter key. Alright. It's time to make an end to this. So if you didn't know, most of you probably know by now, and if you didn't know, you probably figured it out by seeing this. This is not a standard amount of fish in a starter lake, but you can hold fish in your hand and use the Z key to drop items on the ground. But if you have fish, you can drop items in the water, and we can just very quickly deposit tons and tons of fish into the water here. Just gotta keep the cursor away from the land. This only works when you have a multiple of 5 fish in your cursor. So I dropped 2 fish on the land, I had 3 fish in my cursor, and the process stopped right there. The end goal is to get a black starter lake, not from pollution, but from the sheer amount of fish which is in there. Although I may have to, if we're gonna be optimizing UPS, I may have to get rid of these fish again. Alright, I believe the spider has got a couple more for us. Another 1,000 fish. Yeah, all of these, this is like 10,000 entities which need to be updated every tick and swim in some direction. Alright, I guess I can take this again. And I guess this is the shot I am going to leave you with. So yeah, it's past 1 o'clock. This fish hurting UPS. I'm pretty sure this fish will hurt UPS. Like I said, 11,000 moving entities which need to be updated every tick. I don't think there's a great fish optimization code implemented like there is for belts and stuff, because having a lot of fish on screen usually is not an issue. But only updated when you're near them. Yeah, but it's also updated when a spider is near them, as I found out. So this spider is standing here, and even all of these fish are updated when I'm away. It also is my starter lake, so I'm kinda likely to be around here. Especially because here is my manufacturing area. It's gonna take a lot of fish, man, to make this into a black starter lake. It's definitely gonna take at least, I don't know, at least 50 times as many fish as we got now, and we already got 50,000. It's like 2.5 million fish. We could get a decent way. Streaming compression is an agony. It's my fault though, I have bad upload speed at the moment, so I had to lower the megabit stream rate a bit. How much performance is it eating so far? I'm not sure I can see that. These are the entity positions. You can see entities in the base, spider entities, legs of the spiders are entities, all the fish are entities. I'm not sure what kind of entity fish is. I guess it's unit. No, it's not, because there's only 70 on screen. It should be something where there's at least 10,000 on screen. Or 10,000 updates, I presume. I don't see any count of 10,000. Right, now I'm curious. I'm gonna make the endgame save here. Endgame save. You're not gonna tell me that the Factorio devs actually implemented fish optimization code. Or like maybe a fish is updated only once every second. It just swims straight for 60 ticks and then gets a new update or something. But units are only 58. We're gonna go in editor mode. Let's get rid of all the fish. See if unit updates. Now it's at 58. No, it was not unit. I don't think fish is integrated here. We got a couple biters on the map still. We're not completely free because there's biters over here, which are getting polluted. So they are occasionally sending out or forming attack groups like here. Cannot attack anything and then just disband again. But those are the unit upgrades, I imagine. Spider vehicle has 43 updates. Now the last Factorio Friday facts said something about spiders being UPS inefficient when they were moving. So let's try to get at least like 20 spiders or so moving. Okay, I don't really see actually, yeah, we have got 0.2 milliseconds when they are moving. Trying to find the remote for the artillery leader. Okay, now we got like 20 spiders on the move. 0.3 millisecond update time. What if we just stop them again? Okay, even when they are not moving, they are still consuming like... This is like 1% of our 60 UPS capacity, 0.16. We've got 16.7 in total, so the idle spiders we've got now, 43 of them apparently, are using up 1% of my maximum update time. That's something to keep in mind. Alright, so let's load. Fish are crowdsourced. What do the fish eat? Spider trons, maybe? Alright, time usage then. Maybe we can see something here. Alright, so this is our maximum update time. Now it has like 7 milliseconds of sleep, so that it is just going to reach 16.666 regardless. Just as sleep mode is added to it until to get to 60 FPS exactly. Game update, entity update. We did the entity time already. Entity update seems to be higher here though than in the entity time. Here we've got 4.1. Where right here we've got only 3.2. Perhaps that's the difference with the fish. Perhaps the fish are just not mentioned in this list over here. These are my mods. They all are not doing anything. The only thing I see is a discrepancy between entity update in this overview, which is over 4 milliseconds, and the entity time subdivision, which is 3 milliseconds. So let's see if we delete all the fish. Is this... If we delete all the fish, is this entity update going to drop below? Okay, now we are looking at stuff. The entity update gets increased to 5 almost. Here it's still 3. I think fish is just not in this list. It is still part of the entity total, but it is not part of this list. That's a speculation though. It may be completely wrong. Alright, so I've got 4.2 milliseconds of entity update. I guess we can just honestly deconstruct all the fish. Let the base bots do it. It may have been a mistake. So many fish. I've got 10,000 construction bots in the base, but they can't handle my fish. Does not seem that... maybe I gotta wait for all the bots to settle down again. Let's try to get that to happen a bit faster. Alright. Entity update is still at 4 milliseconds. Maybe a little bit better than it was, but not really. I have no idea. I cannot find the fish, man. I cannot find it. Alright. Never mind then. It looks like it's still the same. Not sure where it's hidden. I mean, it must be something, right? I mean, it's like 10,000 moving items on the screen. I'm not sure though where it could be hidden. Can inserters drop fish into water? I don't think so. The stack inserters are too close range, and the long-handed inserters cannot be upgraded to take 5 fish. So I guess let's try. But I don't think the stack inserters can do it. Let's set the stack size to exactly 5. And then we'll just drop the fish in there. Yeah, that's not happening. And the long-handed inserters, they have a stack size of maximum 3. So even if I set it to 5, it's not gonna happen. I should check this in Warptorio. In Warptorio you can get extra stack bonus on your normal inserters as well. Right, I have no idea where fish are hidden in the updates, so maybe the fish are just magic, they don't count, I don't know. Anyway, I'm gonna end it. Thanks everybody for watching. I'm gonna go to bed, it's 1:30 already. Yeah, thanks everybody for chatting. Thanks Odium for the 10 gifted subs, thanks a lot. Warptorio is probably going to be ready before Friday for Patreon. If it's going to be ready a couple days before, I'm going to upload it to YouTube as well on Friday. But probably it will be one more week for the next Warptorio episode. It's going to be a longer one again. And yeah, just the holiday has been interfering with upload schedules and all that stuff, as it should. Holidays should interfere with that kind of stuff, but still it's kind of gotta get my mind to accept that still. It is weird. Anyway, yeah, that's all for today. Thanks everybody, and hopefully I will see you all next time.